Ready to be the hero. And then Dame Lillard goes off, blows past 50, doesn't look back, while the Lakers implode in Boston. All of that and more as we get up with you starting right now in Portland. Warriors, Blazers, going to pick it up late in the first half. Richard Jefferson, Damian Lillard could not be stopped.
No, he could not be stopped. And we talked earlier in the hour about look at that shot from that distance. We've seen him send people home from there.
He was magnificent. Again, the range is ridiculous. Fourth quarter, 7 minutes to play. Blazers down a deuce, and that's Lillard, another three. He has 48 points and counting.
But and what I love about this is this wasn't just like garbage time points. This was a man that needed this. You look at this down three here. Look at how hard he's working and the difficulty of that shot. It is so impressive.
54 points for Damian Lillard in regulation, and those three send this one to overtime, so he wasn't done yet. A minute to play in the extra session. Blazers down by 3. Lillard, another 3 from the top to give him 57.
At this point in time, you should just be sending 5 people at him, doing whatever you can. That's too easy for a shot for a guy with 57.
And then with 8 seconds left, the Blazers up by 3. Jordan Poole, no good. Lillard going to get the rebound. They're going to foul him, and he's going to go to the line with a chance to make 2 and get to 61 points on the night, which would be a new franchise record, and that he does. 61 points for Dame Lillard last night as the Blazers knock off Golden State in overtime, 129-124. Meanwhile, Richard, Lakers, Celtics in Boston. LeBron spent part of the day in Springfield, Mass, watching his son play in a high school game. They made it in time for the game last night. Anthony Davis back from an injury, but Kemba Walker 0 for 28 career against LeBron. AD had a sort of a tough night.
AD had a tough night. This was his first game back, and it's going to take a little bit of a time for him to get his rhythm. Kuzma had been playing well. He didn't play well tonight because AD was back, in my opinion, and their team just looked out of sorts. And this was the type of night for it. Watch this. The smallest guy on the court just accidentally tips it in over LeBron James. That's the type of night it was for them.
When Kemba is going to make stuff like that happen, it's just going to be the Celtics night. They lead by 3 at the end of the first. Second quarter, take a look at the fancy pass from Marcus Smart right there.
Look at that. And look, I really like what Marcus Smart does on the defensive end. And anything that he gives you on the offensive end, and he's been shooting the ball well of late, is an added bonus.
That's a great pass behind the back. Later in the second, Jason Tatum turning defense into offense.
Look, I love the way the Celtics team is kind of constructed, but they need all of their guys to play well in order for them to accomplish their goals.
Third quarter, Celtics leading by 16, and it's Brown. Oh, he's going to get a technical for taunting LeBron.
As he should. Put him in a body bag, young fella. When you get to dunk on one of your heroes, you know what you do? You get a technical. You know why you get a technical, Greeny? Because they're going to keep showing the replay over and over again during the game. Then you get an extra like 30 seconds because they got to do the technical.
Do you think Danny Ainge even really noticed? It wasn't obvious there. Celtics and Kemba, a big win.
I mean, listen, it was just a good old-fashioned butt whooping. That's all. That's all. They beat us on all facets of the game, from the outside, the interior, points off turnovers, and offensive rebounds was the main ingredients to this L.
I'm happy I got one at least, before he goes. But yeah, I mean, it's only one. 1 in 28. That's it.
The latest.
I'm on a new team, so I'm 1-0.
That's right.
So he was 0 for 28 against LeBron in his career. Sherman Douglas was 0 for 30 against Michael Jordan. That was the all-time record for that kind of humiliation. What do you make of that last night? Lakers, I mean, it's sort of a big day. It's a big day, the holiday and everything else, and they go out and they lay that kind of an egg.
Look, I think there was, obviously LeBron James was, seeing his son, and I agree you should 100% see your kids whenever you get the opportunity to. But I think this was one of those games that as a player, you're like, maybe we need to relock in. You get Anthony Davis back. Kyle Kuzma had been playing well, but now there's an adjustment getting Anthony Davis back and just the amount of touches. And this is a Boston team that was hungry. Everyone knows the Lakers are going to come after them, but the Boston team had been struggling in the last few games, and so for LeBron James to come into town, a little extra incentive. It's on MLK, so I think it was a one-game situation, but I do believe that the Lakers need to refocus and relock in.
Yeah, I mean, the season is so long and all of that, and Anthony Davis coming back. To me, it feels like it's a little less about the Lakers, this may surprise you, than it is about the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, the Celtics have not played well over the last couple of weeks, but if there is a team that I think is the most dangerous to Milwaukee in in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to die on this hill. I believe it's going to be Boston.
And 100% it is Boston. I'm not a big fan of the way Philly plays. I just saw them play against the Brooklyn Nets, and I love this Boston team. They have so much perimeter talent, but all of this perimeter talent has to play well. So chemistry, continuity, all of these things are going to be big for them down the stretch. Look, the problem is that they have to play great. If they play good, they can't beat Milwaukee. But if they play great and Milwaukee just plays okay, they can come out of the East.
So an interesting night in the NBA last night as Dame Lillard goes for 61 and the Celtics blow out the Lakers. Laura Rutledge, let's go to the Super Bowl. She ready to be the hero. And speaking of heroes, Dame Lillard goes off, blows past 50, and doesn't look back while the Lakers implode in Boston. Your night in the NBA on the way as we get up with you starting right now. We are jam-packed as we count it down to South Florida, and the Super Bowl is getting ready to go. But we will start with a performance last night worthy of, will you guys stop that? I don't want to have to separate you. Come on, RJ, let's talk about what Damian Lillard did last night. Portland hosting the Golden State Warriors, and we're going to pick it up late in the first half with the Blazers down 7, but Dame Lillard showing all kinds of range.
One thing that Damian Lillard said at the end of this game is that every point was needed. And so it wasn't a 60-point fluff game. His team needed every one of these points. You look at this, down 2, big 3. They were trailing most of this game. Look at him. He knows what time it is. Everyone knows what time it is. It's Dame time.
He had 48 at that juncture. Now here he is late in the going with a step-back 3 with 21 seconds left. He's got 54 points.
Again, that's what I said. Every point was needed. Here, they're down 3. A sidestep fadeaway 3 to his spot. That's so impressive.
And to overtime, he sends it with a minute to play in the extra session. The Blazers down by 3. And here he comes. It is once again Damian Lillard working around the defense and knocking it down.
And one thing, even in watching this game, is he was moving the ball. This wasn't just him catching and shooting it every time. He was just hitting the shots that were needed by his team.
Final seconds here. Jordan Poole, no good. Lillard would grab the rebound.
He knew what he was doing. Get those 2 extra free throws.
That's exactly right. They're going to win the game, but he can set the franchise record if he makes them both, and that he does. That is 61 points for Dame Lillard last night as the Blazers hold off the Warriors in overtime, 129-124. Meanwhile, Lakers on the road in Boston. LeBron began the day in Springfield, Mass, watching his son Bronny and Sierra Canyon playing a high school game, and then playing the game last night in Boston. Anthony Davis back against Kemba Walker and company.
Yeah, Anthony Davis was back. He struggled tonight. Like, obviously, you know what he's capable of doing, but they got out to an AO start. Next thing you know, the score was like 16-16. So they got out to a quick start, but that was pretty much the end of the night for the Lakers.
Right, AD would score just 9 on the night. And look at a crazy play here. Kemba Walker, who, by the way, little fact, has never beaten LeBron in his career.
That's not a little fact.
0-28.
That's a big fact.
It is a big fact.
That is a very big fact. So Kemba was happy to get that little monkey off his back.
In 28 meetings, second quarter, Celtics, by 6, and it's Marcus Smart. Look at the pass.
Look, this was just one of those nights. It was the Celtic night. This was an around-the-back pass, and look, good for you, Marcus Smart.
Celtics up by 8 and just continuing to pull away. Here we go the other way. Jason Tatum throwing it down. Celtics a 14-point halftime lead. Now, I want you to see this moment here. Third quarter. Celtics are up 16, and Jaylen Brown is going to get a technical for taunting for dunking on LeBron.
Well, he should get a technical. You can't just dunk on Prince James like that. You can't do that. Don't you know who that is? You went to his basketball camp. You wore his T-shirt. You can't treat him like that.
Look at Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge doesn't even seem to be aware this is going on.
Danny Ainge is like, we could have used you a couple of years ago with the big 3.
Celtics up 25, and then it's more from Kemba. He had 20 points, and he beats LeBron James for the first time in his career. Celtics win big. Lakers, tough night.
I mean, listen, it was just a good old-fashioned bubble, and that's all. That's all. They beat us on all facets of the game, from the outside, the interior. Points off turnovers and offensive rebounds was the main ingredients to this L.
I'm happy I got 1 at least, before he goes. But yeah, I mean, it's only 1 in 28. That's it.
It's
the latest.
I'm on a new team, so I'm 1-0.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the streak is one for his last one against LeBron. According to Elias, by the way, that 0-28 was the second worst head-to-head mark any player ever had against any other.
And they're in the same conference. They're in the same conference, so they're playing each other 3 or 4 times on a given year.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Lakers, though. Some games just do feel like they stand out a little bit. You're going to Boston. That feels like kind of a big game based on the history of the rivalry. They're two good teams. You know, it's a special day yesterday. What do you make of the Lakers just laying an egg?
This was a refocus game to me for the Lakers, right? LeBron James, as he should. You get an opportunity to see your son play, yes. You should go see every opportunity you can to see your son play, yes. Right? Anthony Davis is just now coming back, so this is his first game back after a couple of games off. But it just looked like they just needed to refocus, right? If you're playing in the postseason, I would not recommend LeBron James going and seeing his kid and throwing off his rhythm. Ultimately, my point is this is just one game. I think the Lakers look is like, okay, we're probably the best team in the league. We're a top 3 team. We have a chance to win a championship. We just need to refocus because teams will be coming after us with their best shot.
And teams are coming after Boston. The Celtics had lost 3 in a row and 6 of their last 8 before a 32-point win last night. What should we make of that? I continue to buy into this team.
Well, I buy into Boston. The one issue that I have with Boston is in order for them to beat a Milwaukee, they're going to need to play like this in a 7-game series, right? They're not going to be able to have 2 guys just play okay and 2 guys play well. They need to be hitting on all cylinders, and that's very hard to do for any team. I think that's hard to do for the Lakers. I think that's hard to do for the Clippers. So in order for them to actually get to the finals or even really compete against Milwaukee, they need to be playing that style of basketball.
Well, you saw the pop from Hembo there. According to our analytics, they have the second best chance of any team to come out of the East behind only Milwaukee, and I buy it. I do. I think if there is a real threat to the Greek Freak in the conference, it is the Celtics.
Yeah, and you look at, I'm not like the way Philly is playing, Joel Embiid with his health, I know it's just a finger, but ultimately they're not playing great basketball right now. They're actually sliding down in the standings, and Boston is a team that's just playing very, very consistent right now, mind you, before these last few games.
Yeah, no, look, they got the bad stretch, but that feels to me like the team that if and when they put it together, they are the team that could make a run. All right, RJ's here all morning long. Meanwhile, Laura, to the